Back at Paul Brown Stadium on the banks of the Ohio River for a wild card matchup in the AFC between the Jets and the Bengals. And you see the snow still on the banks of the Ohio there. It's 22 degrees, but with that 5 to 10 mile an hour wind, feels like 11, and we could get a few snowflakes before the day is over. Mark Sanchez already. This will be the coldest game in which he has ever played, so he's bundling up. And meanwhile, Dhani Jones, the leader of the Bengals defense, is gathering his teammates around him, and you see Carson Palmer there and Chad Ochocinco. And Chad Ochocinco shut out for the first time in 120 games on Sunday night.
By the way, Tom, he did not change his name back. He just said that last week didn't really count. He didn't feel it was justified to change his name back, so that's off the board.
We actually asked him the other day what would happen if he was shut down today, and he said, please, child, it was the bad field in New York. It's not going to happen. Rex Ryan, his first season as the Jets head coach, done such a wonderful job. Talking to him yesterday, and a delight. He, of course, had even his players shaking their heads when he said we should be favored in every game all the way to the Super Bowl. The Jets won the Bengals won the toss and elected to receive to open the game. And so Jay Feely is set to kick it off. And number 28, Bernard Scott, will be the deep man for the Cincinnati Bengals, who haven't won a playoff game since 1991. They've only been to the playoffs once in that period of time, in 2005, when they lost to the Steelers. And the NFL postseason underway. Scott crossing the 20 and finding a seam and breaking free. Scott down to the outside. Finally caught from behind at the 35-yard line. Big return, and Wallace Wright catching him from behind to prevent the touchdown. 57-yard return.
That's exactly what you're looking for. Does a real nice job of breaking through. Gets up close to the wedge. Now remember, only two guys can set the wedge, but once he hits the crease, he puts on the Jets, and they do a real nice job working down the field for him, picking up the extra yards. I think psychologically, Tom, this is very important for the Cincinnati Bengals. They know now that they are within 5 or 10 yards of scoring range, which is a far cry from where they were a week ago.
And an injured Bengal will take a break while they tend to the injury. Back in Cincinnati, here's the injury. Rashad Genty, who was scheduled to be a starting outside linebacker for the Bengals, run into by his own man here, Abdul Hodge.
Ow. Hate to see stuff like that. And the other thing, Gentry was replacing Ray Malaluga, who was the outside linebacker as a rookie and did a good job for him. Now they're down to number 3 on the left side.
So the Bengals, after the long kickoff return, put it in play from the 36 of the Jets. Carson Palmer fakes a pass, hands to Benson, and Cedric Benson pounds to the 30-yard line. 6-yard gain on first down. The stop by Ellis as we meet the offensive unit of the Bengals.
Carson Palmer, SC. Cedric Benson, University of Texas.
Jeremy Johnson, Western Kentucky.
Chad Ochocinco, the Oregon State.
Vernius Coles, Jacksonville, Florida.
JP Fauci, Georgia Tech.
Andrew Whitworth, LSU.
Nate Livings, LSU.
Kyle Cook, Michigan State.
Bobby Williams, Arkansas Razorbacks.
Dennis Rowland, Georgia.
2nd and 4 for Cincinnati. Palmer's first pass of the day overshoots his man over the head of his intended receiver, Lavernius Coles, the former Jet, as we look at the Jet starting defense.
Sean Ellis, Tennessee.
Sheldon Bohart, University of Utah. Marcus Douglas, Howard University.
Brian Thomas, UAB.
Bart Scott, Southeastern Jungliers.
Dave Harris,
Ottawa Hills.
Calvin Pace, Wake Forest.
Darrell Reeves, Pitt.
Jim Leonard, Wisconsin.
Kerry Rhodes, Louisville.
Lito Shepard, University of Florida.
First big third down of the game. 3rd down and 4 for Cincinnati. From the shotgun, Palmer under pressure. Throws, and it's caught. Lavernius Coles. And then he fumbles, and it's recovered by New York. Sean Ellis recovers the Coles fumble. So the Bengals drive after the long kickoff return, and they turn it over.
Both throws were high from Carson Palmer. Lavernius Coles does a real nice job going up and getting the ball. You see him in the slot on the left side. Comes in, sits down in the middle, and Carson just throws it a little bit high. He makes a real nice play, but then as he fights for the extra yardage, he winds up getting stripped, and you wind up with a fumble.
Bengals looking great, and then turn it over. Bengals with the fumble by Coles.
Yep.
And the Jets take over.
See, I thought Marvin Lewis might challenge this because the ball is away from Lavernius Coles. Now, are you making an athletic move and have possession of the ball?
On the field of a catch and fumble.
He goes up and gets it. Looks like he has the two hands on it, and then it sort of slips away as he tries to bring it into him. It'll be very interesting to see what decision is made.
What do you think, Coach? Would you have challenged
To me,
that?
this looks like he's got possession there. He turns, makes an athletic move. So I would have a hard time saying this is going to be overturned. Now, the one thing that you say about turnovers, coaches are always preaching turnovers. It's the game changer.
Right.
You can have great emotion. Things are going for yourself. You turn the ball over, you got real problems.
And while the challenge is underway, we'll take a break. Bengals with a challenge of the reception and fumble.
Reviewing the play, the receiver had possession of the ball with 2 feet down. It is a fumble. Cincinnati will be charged their first time out.
Coach, was it worth the challenge?
I think it was worth the challenge considering the momentum here and what that was at stake. And like you said, I could, you know, from where he's standing, he normally gets somebody upstairs telling him kind of what to do. In that case, I think it was worth the challenge.
So less than a minute into the game, the Bengals long kickoff return, driving for a potential score and turn it over. And Mark Sanchez handing to Thomas Jones, who's stuffed at the line of scrimmage as we meet the Jets offense.
Mark Sanchez, USC.
Thomas Jones, University of Virginia.
Tony Richardson, Auburn.
Jericho Cottrell, NC State.
Braylon Edwards, Lloyd Carter's University of Michigan.
Dustin Keller, Purdue University. Roberto Ferguson, University of Virginia. Alan Faneca, LSU. Nick Mangold, The Ohio State University. Brandon Moore, Illinois.
Damian Woody, Boston College.
So the Jets with a running play, the best running team in the NFL, getting nothing on first down. Second down, fake the pitch. Sanchez rolls and completes the pass to Keller. And the tight end is run out of bounds by Keith Rivers. And it is good enough for a first down.
When you're a running team, play action works. The Jets run more play action than anybody in the league, 30% of the time. And Mark Sanchez does a real nice job of getting his head around, locating gathers, and then dumping the ball over his head.
So the rookie quarterback Mark Sanchez has his first completion of the postseason. First down, New York. And to Jones. Thomas Jones to the 40-yard line. Jones having a very successful season. 5 years he's had at least 1,000 yards, and he had 1,402 yards this season.
You know, Rex Ryan with the Jets, he actually gives you the game plan. He says, look, we're built for this time of year. We're going to run and play defense. If you notice right there, they're running and they go play action pass off of it, but they're running and try to play defense.
And they're running right again.
Second down. Sanchez, another hand to Jones. And Jones stopped at the line of scrimmage.
The Jets give you a lot of problems with all their offensive sets. We're going to give you a quick review of it right here. They have a standard look. That's right here. 1 tight end, 2 backs, 2 receivers. Here's 2 tight ends, 2 backs, 1 receiver. They come back at you again, 3 wides. All of these looks, they're running from them. Here is unbalanced. We've squared in. The 2 big guys are going unbalanced. And then here is the Wildcat. A lot of different looks by Brian Schottenheimer.
And here's the Wildcat with Brad Smith on 3rd down and long.
Got Mark Sanchez down here.
Just got it off. Smith nowhere to go. Reverses his field. And the play will be blown dead. They did not get it off in time.
Now that's what happens when you
Delay
get
game. Offense. I got penalty. Third down.
Bill Levy is today's referee.
That's what happens. It's the responsibility of the quarterback to check the clock. One of the little things that we used to talk about, yeah, Mark Sanchez is trying to say, hey, speed it up. But Brad Smith is not used to locating the play clock on the field. All he wants to do is catch the ball and do something with it.
Brad Smith, who was a college quarterback at Missouri, has been so successful running that Wildcat, but didn't get the play off in time. And now he lines up as a wide receiver with Sanchez in the shotgun. Play clock continuing to tick down. Here is the completion to Brad Smith, and the Bengals on that screen are all over it. Dhani Jones was the first man there, as a good defensive series for the Bengals after they gave up the 1 first down and then stiffened their defense in the face of Sanchez.
That was a big emotional series, I think, for the Bengals. Last week, they had trouble all week. They couldn't stop the Jets at all. The Jets gave them quite a few looks there. They did a great job by Cincinnati. This is a big emotional series, I think, for Cincinnati. Now let's see if they can do something with it.
Dealing with that punt, and here is Cosby. Cosby with a big return.
Boy, that's just heads up.
Bengals with another big return. That was Rico Murray, who returned it 22 yards after the punt covered 32.
What Rico Murray does is these are guys, they're not only down there to help protect, to try and set up a wall. He sees the ball. So often you see guys lose track of where the ball is on the field.
And there's Rutherford, normally is their punter. The Feely punted that one, and you see Weatherford with the sweatpants on. So we haven't had a report about an injury, but it was Feely that punted it away.
The Bengals have to take advantage of the field position opportunities that the Jets are giving them.
So the Bengals from the Jets' 45-yard line with a first down. And the hand is to Benson. Benson breaking tackles and ridden down at the 25-yard line. Big gain for Benson. Rivas stopped him after 20 yards.
That was the Bears defense. I know Buddy Ryan sitting at home going, hey, look, my son's running my defense. But that time they hit it hard on the left side with a big run, which is very hard to do against the 46 defense.
Nate Livingston, 62, does a real nice job on David Harris, who really has come in with a sore ankle, but didn't seem like it bothered him, just the size of Livingston.
Big season for Cedric Benson. Sets up the Bengals at the 26 with a first down. Palmer's pass again high. That's 3 high passes he has thrown, intended for Ochocinco.
When you're throwing the ball high or releasing it from a high point, it means you're not coming all the way through and stepping into it. His hands are so big, I don't believe that the grip is a problem. I watched him in warm-ups. Didn't look like it was a problem there. I just think he has to settle down a little bit. Remember, it's been a long time since he's been in a playoff game.
Second down and 10. Benson. Cedric Benson, another good run inside the 20. As the Bengals productive on the ground, that one good for 6 yards.
You know, when we talked to Marvin Lewis, it was interesting because he really has the same game plan. He said, look, our big change from last year is this year we wanted to run the football, which also helps our defense. So both coaches are saying, run it and play defense.
They're mirror images of one another, right, Coach?
That's correct.
So far, the Bengals having the most success, but still no points. And now third down and 4. Brian Leonard in the backfield. Palmer in the shotgun. Carson Palmer flushed from the pocket, whips it complete. Coles has it at the 15-yard line. First down, Cincinnati.
That's Carson. Areas right there. He's going to go out and run a little quick hook inside. Carson Palmer does a real nice job of getting out. Lavernius Coles finding his quarterback. It is so important for a receiver to get into the visual sight of the quarterback when he's moving.
The other thing, Joe, Carson Palmer can move. He can move around in the pocket.
In fact, he told us he probably needs to move a little more. First down and 10 for the Bengals. 15-yard line of New York. Palmer on first down to the end zone. Just short of the end zone, but caught by Caldwell. Andre Caldwell makes the reception. That's good for 12 yards. And it'll be first and goal.
Comes around. They're working on the middle of this Jet defense, getting around the linebackers. If you want to blitz the A gaps between the center, that's fine. They'll work the middle. If you don't, they'll work the other side of the linebackers. Now, that could be one that Rex Ryan's going to challenge. This will probably, it could be an incompletion if they don't rule that the ground caused the fumble. Yes, there should be a challenge.
New York Jets,
I'm pretty sure
challenging the ruling on the field of a catch.
Watch when he goes up in the air and goes towards the ground. He's up. As he hits, the ball comes out.
Couldn't really see it well there. All right, Jets challenge. We'll have the result when we come back.
What we're looking at here is, does the receiver maintain control all the way to the ground and including when he hits the ground?
No.
I think what we'd have to say is no there. Probably a real good challenge by Rex Ryan.
By Buddy, right? No, by Rex.
Yeah. Somebody. Yeah. Somebody.
One of the Ryans is challenging.
There's
You're
so
right.
many of them. We got to have one of them right. Somebody's
After
coaching.
reviewing the play, the receiver lost the ball when he hit the ground. It is an incomplete pass. With the timer put 7:55 on the game clock. 7:55. New York Jets will not be charged a timeout.
Now keep in mind, they dropped 4 in a very short period of time last week against the Jets, and already 2 have hit the ground, and they're lucky that they didn't lose possession on this one as well.
Actually, Joe, that throw was a little high too.
Yeah.
And Jim Leonard gets credit for the hit that dislodged the football from Andre Caldwell, which sets up a second and goal. No, a second and 10 from the 15-yard line. One of the Jets' trademarks on defense is trying to confuse the offense, especially Carson Palmer. We saw him make an adjustment as he hands to Benson. Benson broke free for a moment, got it down to about the 11-yard line. And Chad Ochocinco still without a catch in the game, but today is his 32nd birthday, so he'd like a big game. And when he arrived at Paul Brown Stadium today, this is his birthday present to himself.
He said it took him 6 months to build that thing.
Chad arriving at Paul Brown Stadium earlier today in his brand new birthday present to himself.
Oh my.
3rd down and 6. Carson Palmer. Pass on target for the touchdown to Coles.
Dwight Lowry trying to make the coverage. What you do is you go away. You'll see Coles on the inside. He just runs a simple out. Everybody gets sort of caught up with Chad Ochocinco, and you wind up with the touchdown.
So halfway through the first quarter, the Bengals already have scored more than they did on Sunday night when they were shut out 37-0. Now Shane Graham to attempt the extra point, and it is good. Cincinnati strikes first in this AFC wild card. 7-0. Cincinnati leading the New York Jets 7-0 after a 7-play 45-yard drive that consumed 3:03 off the clock. Carson Palmer was 2 of 4 through the air on that drive, both to Lavernius Coles, including the touchdown. Mark Sanchez hoping he can answer as Graham is set to kick it off to Smith. Hits the ground. Smith picks it up on the hop. Breaks to the outside and then cuts up the middle. Crosses the 30 to about the 33-yard line. So now down 7-0. The Jets will put it in play from their own 32-yard line. Sean Green in at running back, replacing Thomas Jones. Sanchez fakes, fires. It's complete to the 40-yard line, caught by Kotchery. His first catch immediately tackled by Jonathan Joseph after a gain of 8.
The Bengals will want Mark Sanchez to throw the football. They don't want their the Jets' offensive line to beat them. If they are going to get pushed around, they don't want that to happen. They want to put the ball in the hands of Sanchez.
Another in that long string of successful USC quarterbacks. Just needing a yard. Here's Sean Green bursting free and crossing midfield before he's wrapped up at about the Bengal 48-yard line. Chinedum Ndukwe the first to hit him, but a 12-yard gain. First down, New York.
You watch him fill inside.
This is one of their favorite plays. You see Faneca, the left guard, pull, and actually the back did a great job, Joe, of breaking it all the way backside. This is an excellent running football team. When you talk to their coaches, they brag about the continuity of their offensive line and how good they are up front. And their quarterback, Mark Sanchez, says the same thing.
Best rushing team in the NFL in the regular season, over 172 yards a game. Play action fake. Sanchez, dangerous pass. And a loss on the play, caught by Braylon Edwards, and lucky to hold on to it on this cold day in Cincinnati as we check in on the field with Tiki Barber.
Hey guys, it's getting very cold down here, and the Jets have done a lot to keep their players warm, from extra clothing to heating pads. They even have some wool that goes inside of their helmets. But when you come out on the field, they have the heating benches which the guys are sitting on, but most importantly for the quarterback from Southern California, they have this heating box which keeps not only his helmet warm but the equipment inside of it so it functions properly. Out on the field also, you remember last week, Giant Stadium was very slippery. You can already see from the touchdown from the Cincinnati Bengals. It's not so here today.
Brad Smith on the Wildcat, pitching at the last second to Green. Almost a big loss for the Jets from the Wildcat, and it looks like Cincinnati coach has really prepared well to defend that Wildcat.
Dhani Jones is going to be responsible for the quarterback in this case. Watch number 57, Phil. Everybody has a responsibility now. You've got Crocker outside, number 42. He's playing the pitch, and then all of a sudden you see Dhani fire through. The way they set it up is every linebacker and/or safety is responsible for one of those men in the backfield.
Third down and 11. Sanchez just got the play off again. Across the middle, deflected, incomplete at the last second. The play made by Brandon Johnson, who came in at linebacker to replace the injured Genty, intended for Dustin Keller, the tight end.
When we talked to Brian Schottenheimer, the offensive coordinator of the Jets, he said that's what they don't want. They don't want to be third and long. This team is geared to be third and 2, 3, 4, so you keep the short, quick passes.
So Jay Feely is going to punt again. We're told that Weatherford is ill, so Feely, the place kicker, is punting. Cosby deep. Fields it at the 10-yard line with a fair catch. 37-yard punt with no return in a 7-0 game. Back in Cincinnati, number 6 behind there on the Jets bench is Mark Sanchez and Carson Palmer on the field for Cincinnati. Two quarterbacks that both went to SC, but their relationship much longer. There's Sanchez back at Santa Margarita High School when Carson Palmer was the starting quarterback. Palmer went on to win the Heisman Trophy at SC. Sanchez followed him to be a Trojan. And of course, Carson Palmer, after winning that Heisman, was selected with the first overall pick. Sanchez selected this year by the Jets, and Sanchez used to follow Carson around, said he wanted to be like him, wanted to do everything he did, would carry his bag before high school games and run errands for him. As the hand is to Cedric Benson on first down for Cincinnati. Bounced up, looked like he was down, bounced up and crosses the 15-yard line.
We've seen a couple of very alert plays by the Cincinnati Bengals. One on a short punt. Now Cedric Benson realizing that he doesn't hit the ground, but he actually lands on the jet, as you see, and now he just jumps up and takes off. It's just, they're playing really smart football.
Turned it into a 6-yard gain.
Yeah.
Puts his hand down for balance, never touched down. Not down by contact, and gets 6 yards out of it. Carson Palmer drops. Complete pass to Leonard out of the backfield for a short gain.
Again, the Jets are coming. The one thing you can count on, they're going to be one-on-one out there, and I think that they're going to rely on their corners, and they're going to put pressure. It's going to be interesting to see if, you know, it's going to be interesting to see how Carson Palmer deals with the blitzes, either hot or whether the Bengals will try and block them. There'll be some combination of probably both of those.
Cincinnati facing a 3rd down and 3 deep in its own territory with 2.5 minutes left in the first quarter. From the shotgun, Palmer with good protection, but the pass incomplete. Intended for Caldwell and well defended by the Jets' Lowry.
What's jumped out at me so far is that the attention is being directed towards the other receivers. Caldwell can't get away from Lowry in the middle. Does a real nice job, but Chad Ochocinco has had one pass thrown to him, and if the ball gets in, you got to try and make that catch. But Lavernius Coles has had 3, and Caldwell has had 3.
Kevin Huber in punt formation for Cincinnati, averaged 43.2 a punt in the regular season. High, good kick. Cotchery with a fair catch at the 43-yard line. So Jay Feely has been punting for the New York Jets. Never punted before in an NFL game. Replacing.
Well, let me tell you what happened to me, Tom. We're standing at 85. We're playing the Bears
in Chicago.
And Chicago. We lose our punter. Okay, Jeff Hayes. 2 guys can punt for our team, Joe Theismann and Schrader. I turn to him. Joe goes, "Put me in there. I punt the snot out. I punt the snot out." It's a 1-yard punt. Then he walks off the field to me and he kind of goes like that.
You didn't give me a second chance to get my average up.
That was ugly.
Thank you.
Full start. Number 66 offense. 5-yard penalty. First down.
The worst part of that too was Schrader comes back and I put him in. I said, "Joe, you never punt again. Go to the bench." I put Schrader in. He averaged 35 yards the rest of the game.
Did Joe ever punt again?
No,
he never.
I retired with a 1-yard average. It could well be. It could well be a record, but it will be not a funny thing for the Jets. It'll be a big factor in this ball game regarding field position.
Could be very important. Green is the tailback, Richardson the fullback on this 1st down and 15 play, and Sean Green gets the call.
The Jets have created situations, Tom, for themselves in this ball game where they weren't the other night when they played Cincinnati in the Meadowlands. They had a whole bunch of 3rd and shorts, 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4s. Now you're winding up 3rd and 11, 3rd and 13, 2nd down and 13. These are not comfortable yardages for the Jets.
Thomas Jones on the sideline with Sean Green in at the tailback spot. And this is a situation the Jets don't like to be in on 2nd down and long. They give to Green. And he plows ahead for another couple of yards. Domato Pecco up front for Cincinnati has been a force here early. He didn't play in that game Sunday as they get Pecco and Geathers back on their defensive front, which has to be a help.
When you talk to Mike Zimmer, he was telling us, hey, we've got some things that we did not use last week that we can use, but he was hoping to be able to just play better. In particular, they got some guys back that were hurt. That should help them also.
Yeah, you see Pecco with that shaggy mane lining up on the defensive line on this 3rd down and 9. Sanchez, his pass wide open, and the catch is made. Was he inbounds? Yes. Cotchery with a catch, got his feet down. He was wide open for 15 yards.
Mike Zimmer, the defensive coordinator of the Bengals, decides not to go after Sanchez. 1, 2, drags the foot. Question will be.
And the Jets run a play quickly. But the challenge is already out with a red flag. So they try to run a play to prevent the challenge. And the red flag is out.
Watch his right foot. See, the left is down right there. That left is down. Does that drag? It looks like there's turf coming up, which would make this a catch.
Makes it a catch.
Marvin has done, once again, Marvin Lewis, the coach of the Bengals. It's a good challenge. They're right there, but he's going to lose this one also, which means he's only going to have one timeout left. And timeouts are so very, very valuable.
The play was right in front of the Cincinnati bench, so he had a good look at it. And Marvin Lewis with the challenge of the catch.
And here's the other thing. No matter what, he's going to be out of challenges for the rest of the game. So now it goes into the hands of the official. But you can see the rubber come up off the field. Watch. All you do is focus on the right toe. See how he's being dragged? We know this one's in. No problem there. That one's down. It's the dragging of the right there that shows you that he has the catch. The other thing that I was impressed with on this particular play was Mark Sanchez was hurrying everybody to the line of scrimmage. Now, this is, I don't qualify him a rookie because he's played 17 football games already, but that's very intuitive from the quarterback position, especially a young guy, to say, hey, come on, guys, let's go, hurry up.
And normally what they'll have there, Joe, is a set play. And in the hurry-up type, when they see they're trying to rush, they'll have one play they're going to go to. And it's something that's good against anything.
That's the way you set it up?
Slants for us, that's the way we would set it up. Or a particular run. But normally a pass play, it would be slants and get the play off so that they can't review it.
A couple of unforeseen
After
things.
reviewing the play, the receiver had possession and did get 2 feet down. The ruling on the field is confirmed. Cincinnati has charged their second timeout, and they may not challenge the rest of the game.
Yeah, I was saying a couple of unforeseen things. Now Cincinnati out of challenges for the rest of the game, and we're still in the first quarter. And of course, Weatherford, the punter for the Jets, ill and unable to punt. That could be big too. So some unforeseen factors occurring in the first quarter of this wild card game.
And the Cincinnati Bengals are doing a much better job of controlling the line of scrimmage, especially on 1st and 10, and forcing the Jets into long yardage situations.
47 seconds left in the first. First down, New York. The Jets at the 41-yard line of Cincinnati. Blitz comes from Cincinnati. Sanchez fakes and fires for the end zone, and it is incomplete. Intended for Braylon Edwards. Made a dive at it as Leon Hall was running with him for Cincinnati, but the pass is incomplete.
Mark Sanchez has to be just sick. You're not going to get somebody this much open. I mean, he can't find the ball and goes right through his hands. Now, a few years ago, we know the problems. That's got to be a catch.
Well,
that has to be a catch. It bounced off the one on his hand. Braylon Edwards has been a guy that has been plagued with drops over the last couple of years. Only 6 registered this year, though.
That one, though, perfectly thrown, hit him right in the breadbasket in the end zone, but incomplete. 2nd and 10. Fake the pass, handoff instead to Green. Sean Green, who has done most of the work at running back for New York, with Thomas Jones on the sideline. Brandon Johnson made the Cincinnati tackle. Genty, the starting linebacker, injured on the first kick of the season. There's Braylon Edwards and those drop passes that you mentioned, Joe.
For somebody that calls plays on the sideline, those opportunities don't come up very often, where you have a chance to get somebody one-on-one, and now you're saying, we have to hit this. This is huge, because it won't happen very often against good defensive teams. That was a wasted opportunity there.
And that's the end of the first quarter in Cincinnati, with the Bengals leading the Jets 7-0. NBC's Wild Card Saturday will continue right after these messages. Start the second quarter with the Jets facing a 3rd down and 5 from the Cincinnati 36. Bengals leading 7-0. 3rd and 5, a little more manageable for the Jets as Carson Palmer awaits his call to come back onto the field. Sanchez pass batted down at the line of scrimmage.
That time the Bengals came with the blitz. Tom, they came up inside with the blitz. And you can see they're trying to put pressure. from the inside, and they get the ball batted down. That's a little bit of a change for them. They're normally a little more conservative, but if you get them on third down, they will come after you. And I think the fact that they have Joseph and Hall, 2 young corners, they have a lot of confidence in it.
So Feely will punt to once again and does a good job of it. Out of bounds at the 6-yard line. Jay Feely, who had never punted in an NFL game, called on to punt and did a good job on that one. NBC's NFL Wildcard Playoff brought to you by Gillette Fusion, the #1 razor recommended by dermatologists. By Bud Light, not too heavy, not too light, it's just right. By BlackBerry. And by McDonald's. I'm loving it. Today's aerial coverage brought to you by Bud Light. So Cincinnati backed up to its own 6-yard line on its first series of the second quarter. Bengals leading 7-0. Lavernius Coles with a touchdown catch from Carson Palmer. And off Cedric Benson. Look at Benson carry tacklers with him, moving the pile beyond the 10-yard line.
Watching the first quarter of this game, guys, it's almost like, as we studied on film, teams have changed uniforms. We saw the Jets dominate, and now you see Carson Palmer handing off, because he has to hand off with his right hand. Tore ligaments in his left thumb, and the ball almost sneaks away from Cedric on that one. When it gets colder and colder, the ball gets slicker and slicker. Something to keep an eye on through the course of this game.
Carson with a glove on the left hand, with the right hand gloveless. There's that backhanded handoff to Benson. Cedric Benson stops short of the first down. Tiki, what about that handoff by Carson Palmer?
You know, I talked to Cedric Benson before the game, and he said that it happened in a Baltimore Ravens game where the quarterback Carson Palmer sprained his thumb, and really he doesn't even notice it, despite the fact that he's getting his hand in his belly instead of the ball. He said he gets a chance to work on his abs too, because he smacks them hard sometimes.
yeah, Carson said his running backs have had to work on their core strength because they're getting whacked in the gut every time he hands up. Benson with 7 carries, 49 yards so far in the game. That's an average of 7 yards a carry for Cedric. 3rd down and 2. There's that backhanded handoff again to Cedric Benson, fighting for yardage, and will be stopped short of the first down. So the Bengals looking for a punt from deep in their own territory now. Brian Thomas was the first man to hit Benson on that 3rd down carry. Kotchery will receive the punt from Kevin Huber. Huber standing in his own end zone. Punts it from about the 3. Kotchery calls a fair catch. It looked like he waved his arm, maybe not. And will be tackled at the 47-yard line. I thought he had waved his arm for a fair catch, but ruled not so. A 12-yard return after the punt covered 44. Dan Stuka made the special teams tackle. As Jay Feely punted down at the 6-yard line, out of bounds at the 6, backing the Bengals up deep. The defense holds, and now the Jets have it at the 47 of Cincinnati. So substitute punter Jay Feely giving the Jets this opportunity, essentially, with a handoff to Thomas Jones back into the game and ripping off 9 yards on 1st down before he's tackled by Gathers.
Look at the nice job this interior, this line does. You see how everybody can run. Faneca, 66, is out. Mangold's out. The center, right guard, Brandon Moore. I mean, these guys just really control the line of scrimmage inside. That's the biggest challenge for Domata Pico and Tank Johnson, the 2 tackles. The 2 tackles.
Jones back on the sideline. Sean Green in at running back. He's the tailback in the eye behind Richardson. Fake one way, toss to Green. Greenwood breaking a tackle, sprints to the outside into the end zone for the Jets touchdown. Misdirection play, Sean Green takes the pitch, rambles 39 yards for the New York score.
That's a little sucker play. The fullback will start to the right. The quarterback makes a little counter step. You'll see him make a little counter step in the direction. The tailback make a counter step, and then pitches it back out, hoping to get the defense moving one way, and they did in this case. This play's been kind of a big play. Can make a big play with this kind of little counter play here. And the Jets, a big play and gets their momentum back in their hands.
Dustin Keller, the tight end, did a great job of blocking.
Feely with the extra point good, and Dustin Keller did make a springing block for Green. So 2 plays, they cover 47 yards. Touchdown, Jets. Sanchez loves it. Dustin Keller made a springing block on Sean Green's touchdown run. It's a 7-7 game.
Watch the fast flow, okay, of the Bengal linebackers and safety. That's what their defense is geared on. This is a counter play. Okay, it makes it actually with the Bengals flowing fast. Now you come back with the counter, and I think that's designed to help slow down the fast flow of the Bengal linebackers. This is part of what they do.
That's what happens. That's what happens when you run 57 times against somebody. They get going towards the run.
Jay Feely, who's getting a workout today with a kickoff. Bernard Scott from the 10, dropped it, then picked it up. Remember, he had the good return of 57 yards to start the game. This time he takes it out to the 30-yard line where Cincinnati will put it in play. Jay Feely is going to be leg weary by the time the game is over. And don't forget, later tonight, Tony Romo and the Dallas Cowboys taking on the Philadelphia Eagles from Cowboys Stadium.
We've had a few battles down there, Joe.
Yeah,
Matter of fact, I remember one night they actually sang, if you remember,
I do.
"Happy Birthday, Joe."
That was after I throw my 4th interception.
They appreciated it.
I haven't seen the new plays, but I'll tell you one thing. Donovan McNabb is going to have to play a whole lot better in this game tonight than he did last week.
That'll be coming up next here on NBC. First down, Cincinnati. Palmer pass behind Coles and incomplete. Carson Palmer really hasn't been that sharp today.
Well, not only sharp, but he's spending a lot of time throwing the ball away from Chad Ochocinco. They've just decided, basically, that Darrelle Revis and Chad Ochocinco can do whatever they want way out here on the right. They can do whatever they want. I'm going to start throwing the ball inside. He has really worked the middle of this Jet defense, and balls have been high, balls have been behind receivers.
Does have a touchdown pass to Lavernius Coles. Second down. Palmer. Man wide open, and again it's high, but a flag is down. Caldwell couldn't quite get it hauled in. It was another high pass from Carson Palmer, who's hit 4 of 9 for 21 yards.
Joe, when a quarterback is going like that, throwing high.
Illegal contact. Number 24 defense. 5-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
Darrelle Revis, the shutdown corner, as he's known throughout the league, with illegal contact.
What do you think's going on, Joe?
I think it's his release. That really should be offensive pass
Looked
interference.
like he pushed off.
Caldwell, obviously, as a receiver, you're not allowed to extend your hands to try and create separation. He did that. All right, the Bengals got away with one there, but it hasn't solved the problem of Carson Palmer being high all day.
So first down, Cincinnati, and flag flies. Looks like a false start.
False start. Number 32 offense. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Cedric Benson.
I think Carson Palmer's saying that was a shift. We were actually shifting the tight end up.
Watch this. Just a little twitch. That's all you need to do. But Coach, you're talking about Carson Palmer. He's just not finishing his throw. If you cut it off, the ball's going to be releasing high on you. And that's what he has to just come through it a little bit more with his delivery.
My way of dealing with it, I said to you, I'll come to the side, I'm going to kill you if you don't start throwing the ball.
I know, and then you start running.
Here's Palmer. This one is right on target to Coles. Not high on that throw as Coles gathers it in with Revis defending.
I want to show you the difference in this throw. Here's the route. Does a real nice job of pressing inside. Lavernius, somebody dialed up Lavernius and said, hey, buddy, we want you to show up. We need you. But watch how he steps into this throw. Look at the completeness. See how he comes through and the weight gets shifted? See how it releases? Very different than what I've seen in really the other 4 or 5 throws earlier than that.
13-yard gain sets up a second down and 2. Hand off to Benson. Benson gets the corner and has a first down into Jets territory. A gain of 13 yards on the play. First down, Cincinnati.
Well, one thing for sure, guys, you can say the passing game for the Bengals, they're leaning on basically Coles and Caldwell. They made up their mind. Hey, Chad's on the other side. Hey, we're going to the other two guys.
And Cedric Benson, who gained 5,500 yards during his University of Texas career. The draftee of the Bears, who has come over to Cincinnati, and you see the franchise record. He's 9 carries, 63 yards here in the first half.
Full start, number 71 offense. 5-yard penalty, first down.
Andre Smith.
From a quarterback's perspective, what Carson Palmer is trying to do for his offensive line is make the Jets commit to some of the things that they want to do up front with their backers and their interior linemen. And that's why he's going hard count, to get them to commit. But you can't continue to do it if your offensive line just doesn't hold their water.
So the ball now at midfield on 1st and 15. Palmer, pass caught by Crosby.
One of the things that impressed me the other day, guys, when we sat down on Thursday and talked to Carson Palmer, he was very relaxed. He talked about this defense. You know, here's the #1 defense in the league he's looking at. And he said, look, we have a lot of confidence in knowing we kind of know what they're going to do because we've been against them because Rex has been at Baltimore those years. And he was very relaxed. I was surprised to see that in him.
Yeah, when you look at the numbers from last week, 1 completion out of 11 for 0 yards. Had a bunch of drops though.
He promised things would be different today, and so far the Bengals offense much more efficient. Cedric Benson, a couple of yards. Calvin Pace makes the Jets tackle.
That was an unbalanced line from that the Bengals are using right there, trying to get the power game to the right side.
That is scary with that handoff. There you go.
See the big guys over here.
The big guys over there.
That's a lot of big butts on that side.
Yep.
They're going to try and mash something on that side. A lot of big bodies there.
And he runs right at it, too.
See the numbers for Benson. 3rd down and 6. From the shotgun, Jets coming with a blitz. Bengals pick it up, but the pass is picked off by Revis. Revis with his 7th interception, 6 in the regular season, now 1 here. And Revis trying to pick up blockers, finally ridden down short of the 45-yard line of New York by J.P. Fauci. Returned it 21 yards after he picked it off, but Revis breaks inside on the pass and picks off the Carson Palmer aerial.
This is a mismatch. The ball is thrown behind. It was supposed to be a back shoulder throw. That's what Carson Palmer was expecting from Chad.
Bengals with their 2nd turnover. Chad Ochocinco still blanked in the game. We may be talking about Chad Johnson in the weeks to come. Blanked for the 5th straight quarter by Darrelle Revis, who just picked off that Carson Palmer pass. Hand off to Thomas Jones. And let's go back to that interception by Revis.
What you want to focus on is Darrelle Revis's head. He's going to look back even before Chad does. Right now, he whips it. See, Chad's still looking up the field. He's got him shielded and then plays the ball.
What an athletic move.
Oh, it's great.
The other thing, Coach Ryan said, he's been around a lot of great corners, and he rated this guy as the best.
And look at the receivers that he has held to 35 yards or less through the courts. And he's working on Chad for a 2nd time.
In fact, Coach Ryan said it's not even close. He's the best he's ever been around. 2nd down. Sanchez tries to hand it off. Got the handoff to Jones, but stopped in his tracks by Brandon Johnson. Brandon Johnson filling in for Genty, who was injured. Stops him for a loss of 3. Pecco in on the play 2, and Brandon Johnson's doing a good job for Cincinnati.
It's not like he hasn't played a bit. I mean, you know, he's in his 4th year. He understands the system. Defensive coordinator Mike Zimmer has done a real nice job of changing up his pressure packages and then dropping off, confusing Sanchez a little bit.
3rd down and long. Sanchez, short drop. The pass on the slant is good by Kotri. Kotri catches it and takes it for a first down. That's a 13-yard gain. Defended by Jonathan Joseph, but he couldn't stop the slant.
You'll see him just go down inside, make the break. Joseph winds up making the tackle, but not before he gets the first down. Good release by Mark Sanchez. I've been very impressed with the way Mark Sanchez throws the football. He is fundamentally very, very sound.
And here is a Smith now. Brad Smith.
Wants a pass.
Under center. And he wasn't in. He was in not as a Wildcat, but on the field. And the pass is complete to Keller. And the tight end ridden out of bounds. No, touchdown. Got the pylon with Ndukwe hanging on. And Keller makes the reception for the touchdown.
Rex Ryan talked about it. There goes the play action. Keller's coming all the way across the field. You see him at the hash now, headed for the numbers. Remember, Brad Smith threw for 8,000 yards at Missouri and rushed for 4,000. I mean, the guy can throw the football, no question. And what a weapon, huh, Coach? And it doesn't matter whether Marvin Lewis wanted to challenge or not. He can't. The only way a challenge will occur would be inside 2 minutes.
And Feely with the point after. So Sanchez rolling to his right, finds the tight end Dustin Keller, hits the pylon. Jets go on top. Here's Dustin Keller.
What an athletic
crosses the plane to the goal line.
And has to get the ball inside the pylon. And look at this shot. What a terrific shot.
What a great shot.
Woo! Nice job. The last 3 steps, Coach, he just stayed in bounds all the way down.
And the New York Jets, after punting on their first 3 possessions, have scored touchdowns on their last 2 as Feely kicks off. Out to the 30-yard line is Brian Leonard.
Personal foul, number 59 of the receiving team. 15-yard penalty. It'll be 1st and 10 after the enforcement.
So a costly personal foul on Brandon Johnson. And sets the Bengals back, and we're told Lavernius Coles has an injured thumb, and his return is questionable.
That would be a big blow because he's become the man that the Bengals want to get the ball to. It's time for someone else to step up. It's just the way it works.
After the penalty, Cincinnati starts from the 16-yard line. Benson. Tough yards for Cedric Benson, who has been the workhorse for the Bengals here in the first half. Lavernius Coles not out there. He has the touchdown catch. The Bengals only points. Bart Scott made the tackle for the Jets. Look at big Dennis Rowland, all 6'9" of him, leaving the field.
When you look at the wide receiving core, you've got Andre Caldwell, Crosby, and Chad Ochocinco. If they want to go 3 wides, those are the 3 that are left.
Palmer steps up, pass caught by Benson, shook 1 tackler but not the second, as Calvin Pace made sure a gain of 5. And Cincinnati looking for an elusive postseason win. They've been to the playoffs only twice in this period, 2005 and their last win 1991. 19 years, the longest drought in the NFL. I mean, you think about teams that are bad, the Lions specifically, and but Cincinnati has a longer drought than even Detroit.
Unbelievable. Here comes the pressure. You got everybody at the line now. Who's bailing? Who's not?
Palmer's protection good. There's a flag down. Palmer diving. Flag came down relatively early in the play. Palmer scrambling. He told you, Coach, that he should do more of that, and there he did it productively.
He sure did. He mentioned too deep man. Of course, in football, two deep man means the quarterback's not accounted for. He says, when I see that, I should be running. We played the Bengals in my second go-around with the Redskins, and I got to tell you, the guy can run.
Illegal contact. Number 24 defense. 5-yard penalty enforced from the end of the run. First down.
Second time in this first half that Revis has been called for illegal contact, as Lavernius Coles has shaken off the thumb injury and is back out for the Bengals. So first down for Cincinnati as they move the ball out to the 31-yard line. Cedric Benson. A couple of yards at most.
That's the second time Carson Palmer, when he saw the 46 defense up front, he ran weak. Remember, they broke one
That's what you used to do.
Then right here, he again audibled, and that's the reason why it took a little more time to get the run to the weak side of that defense.
A lot of times when you audible, it isn't that necessarily you're going to something great. You just want to go to something that's better than the play you were designed to run and at least get positive yards. That's exactly what happened on that one.
Changing the tape on the gloves of Lavernius Coles and that injured thumb. Timeout Cincinnati. So the play clock running down. Timeout Cincinnati. You see that the Bengals have called it with 3:37 left until halftime.
I think what kind of impresses me with what the Jets are doing, really the Bengals are trying to force the run. And that gives them two things. That gives them play action and then that little misdirection pitch. So they're trying to react. Brian Schottenheimer's doing a real good job on offense. They're trying to take advantage of what the Bengals are trying to do to stop the run.
Second down 7 for Cincinnati. Bengals out of timeouts for the rest of the half. Palmer hit as he throws, and a completion only good for a couple of yards to Benson. And once again in this game, Chad Ochocinco being shut out by Darrelle Revis.
Round 2 is going to Darrelle Revis again. He loves to get his hands on Chad. Chad has said, I'm not a physical receiver. If you give him some room, he'll be able to do things with you because he relies on his legs. That was just a great job of covering, getting your head around, finding the ball.
Third down and 5 for Cincinnati. Blitz. And Palmer lost the football. Scramble for it.
Oh, the Jets unfortunately couldn't recover it. And for the Bengals, it was just lucky that that ball bounced out of the hands.
Jim Leonard was the man that knocked it free.
You could almost bet the Jets in that situation, 3rd and 5, they brought everybody right up the middle. One of the linebackers was not accounted for.
There it is, Bart Scott, David Harris.
Actually, the safety's going to get through free.
Yeah, back at the play. Now there's Bart Scott. Can't quite hold on to it, gets it muscled away, and here come the other bodies. Rex made a great point last night when he talked about this defense. He said, we bring people from everywhere. And then when we sat down with Bart Scott and talked to him about it, he said that you'll see linebackers go back and play a true safety position in the middle of the field. You'll also see us buzz to the sidelines.
Bart Scott is the injured Jet. Jim Leonard causing the fumble, recovered by Brian Leonard of the Bengals after a loss of 18 as Bart Scott still on the field.
We talked about all the things that Rex Ryan does, Coach Ryan. And when we were talking to him last night, it was kind of interesting. I said, man, that's a lot of stuff. You're doing a lot of stuff there. When you look at it, you got to look at it and say, isn't that real complicated? He says, hey, I could teach that to you in 2 days. I don't think he knew he was talking to the PE major. It's going to take him longer than 2 days to get it to me.
Yeah, but you expected us to learn it in 2 days. That's the difference. See, when you're a coach, you have that expectation.
Yeah. The other thing I asked him, I says, you're going to wear a coat. tomorrow. He stands over there. He's I think he is a tough guy. He's a tough coach, and he coaches that way. And I think the players really respect him. Everybody that came in that room as a player talked about how much they respect Coach Rao.
Scott off the field as Huber punts deep in his own territory for Cincinnati. Potchery backpedaling. What a punt to the 25-yard line. Can't get to the outside. Bumped as he heads to the sideline. And that was a 56-yard punt, 14 on the return. Joe Theismann and Joe Montana, two Notre Damers squaring off. These are quarterbacks from the same school squaring off in the playoffs. A couple of Maryland Terps, Reich and O'Donnell. And Steve Young and Ty Detmer are the BYU Cougars in 1996. And today, the two SC Trojans, Mark Sanchez and Carson Palmer, locked up in a battle with the Jets, leading 14-7. And the rookie Sanchez with the advantage at the moment. Hand off to Green. Sean Green gang tackled and thrown back to the center of the Bengal defense. Rivers and Johnson, the two linebackers, clamping him up as we come down to the 2-minute warning. Timeout for the 2-minute warning. Playoff game with the Jets leading the Bengals. 2 minutes left in the half, 14-7 Jets. Mark Sanchez, the rookie quarterback, said he had some of the shackles taken off for this game, and he's done a good job.
Just real fundamentally sound when we talk about throwing the football. Has great balance, stands real sturdy, and throws the ball exceptionally well in the run.
Given a little more freedom today than he has been sometimes this season as he's matured during his rookie campaign. Hand off to Sean Green. Green gets a couple.
If you take a look at the score right here, see those 3 yellow marks right there? Those are the timeouts that are left for the Jets, 3 of them. Over here, the Cincinnati Bengals, 2 have gone on challenges. 1 was taken earlier or later in the second quarter. That's Brian Schottenheimer, the offensive coordinator of the New York Jets, and he's just enjoyed the living daylights out of working with Mark Sanchez. 2 young guys, very bright, could wind up being a head coach in the National Football League in the not too distant future.
Third down. Handoff is to Green, stopped in the backfield, loss on the play, but the Bengals can't stop the clock. Ndukwe from his safety spot made the tackle.
He'll come flying in from the right side. You see him come in, shoots the gap inside. Faneca tries to pick him up, but he's in the backfield too quick. Matt Cavanaugh with the glasses on, the quarterback coach. Mark Sanchez is having an opportunity to be schooled very well by some wonderful coaches.
Sanchez in this first half, 7 of 10 for 94 yards and a touchdown to Keller. So they wanted him, as he told us, to win the game. He's got to protect the football. He has done that. The Bengals have 2 turnovers, the Jets none. And Sanchez has managed the game well.
That was one of the things when I visited with Carson Palmer on Tuesday. I said, well, what do you have to do to win? Same thing came out of his mouth, Tom. We can't turn the ball over. Turnovers are going to be the key. Because we talk about, the teams are so similar.
Right.
They want to run the ball. They want to play great defense. And we've seen how important the play action pass is. And for Carson Palmer, it's a bit more difficult because it doesn't give him a chance to get the ball to Chad Ochocinco on a deeper play.
How important are turnovers? Wow. 84% of the time. So the substitute punter, Jay Feely, is on to punt it to that man Cosby. There's Feely. This is kind of a low sidewinder. Fair catch called for and made by Cosby at the 20-yard line. So Feely's punt that time covered 39 yards. And so Feely pressed into service with Weatherford. Weatherford last Friday had a groin injury. They brought in another punter, but they stayed with Weatherford, who did punt last Sunday night. But today out in sweatpants, unable to punt, and Feely's done a wonderful job filling in.
They got a guy that can punt.
well, Mark,
don't coach anybody on punting.
He's not going to give it up,
Don't even
is he?
comment on his punting. Okay?
You'll notice I didn't say a word.
You're not qualified.
I didn't say a word.
You're not
okay,
qualified.
I promise I won't say a word. I thought he did a good job.
Cincinnati from the 20-yard line. Cedric Benson, flag is down. Benson tripped up at about the 28-yard line.
Holding, number 64 offense. 10-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
So the center Kyle Cook called for the hold. And that's Caldwell. The receiver, as Cosby comes on to replace him, Caldwell limping off the field.
Right side of your screen, watch this. Number 87's blocking, and they roll up on the back of both his legs, his left one in particular.
Another give to Benson. Cedric across the 10 as Caldwell's being helped from the field. And the Bengals getting thin at wide receiver. Not to mention the fact that Ocho Cinco has been a no-show again today, thanks to Darrell Reeves, number 24, who has the interception. Sanchez has thrown a touchdown pass and has guided the Jets to the halftime lead. Ocho Cinco still being blanked. All right, Graham with the kick to get the second half underway. And the pulse of the game so far in favor of the Jets. Sanchez 7 of 10, including that touchdown pass. Sean Green had a big run for a touchdown, 64 total yards, but maybe the biggest of all, Rivas once again shutting down Ocho Cinco. Chad Hell without a reception and Rivas with an interception. And the Jets up 14-7. Hartsock, the tight end, caught that short kickoff. And here are the Jets in the Wildcat under center as Smith hands off to Sean Green. And Green fights for 9 yards.
That was also an unbalanced line there, and they powered it to the left side.
The Jets are the first team since the 34 Giants with a touchdown pass and a touchdown run by a rookie in a postseason game. Sean Green, the rookie from Iowa, and Mark Sanchez, the rookie from USC, the quarterback that threw the touchdown pass. So they had the Wildcat under center with Brad Smith on first down, and now second down. Sanchez has returned and hands off to Sean Green. And Green has a first down as we check in with Tiki.
Tom, talking to both coaches at halftime, Marvin Lewis didn't say much, but he did say he is getting a little bit worried about the injuries to his wide receiving core. On the other side, Rich Ryan said he's extremely impressed with Mark Sanchez, and if it hadn't been for that Braylon Edwards drop, he would have had a huge first half. Lastly, he said if the Cincinnati Bengals are going to beat us, they're going to have to earn it.
Well,
gee, I'm shocked.
He said yesterday to us after last Sunday's 37-0 whipping, he said, we whipped them, we know it, and they know it. They're ahead 14-7 right now as we start the third quarter, and Sean Green gets another carry and gets the edge and is enough for another first down before Tahani Jones chases him down.
DeBrickashaw Ferguson, number 60, the left tackle. You watch him move people. He's coming right at you, lower part of the screen. There he is. He seals inside, then he gets outside on Johnson and just keeps pushing him and pushing him and pushing him. And once the tackle's made, you're 9 yards down the field.
I'm impressed with the way he can run, and he's got balance for a big guy. We saw him pull last week.
Joe Jacoby was another one who was pretty good that way.
They mark him a yard short of the first down. It's 2nd and 1. Green runs over a defender who makes the tackle just inside the 30-yard line as he punished Ndukwe, who held on for the tackle, but a gain of 8 and a first down. This offensive line Give them some love here, because they maybe are the best in football at run blocking right now.
I think so. I really do. You've got a mobile guard in Alan Faneca. Nick Mangold, another one of those draft choices, came in with the Brickashaw-Ferguson. Brandon Moore just jumped out. Chris Collinsworth did a great job with him last week, pointing out block after block after block that he made.
Wildcat under center. Smith caught and dropped by Robert Gathers, who wasn't fooled by that. Jonathan Joseph gave help as well. Sanchez returns.
This is unbalanced to the left, and you got your Wildcat. I think that was just going to try and be a bootleg. In other words, they were going to try again, try and get the Bengals chasing the ball, and they were just going to come out the backside with a bootleg. It was a good job at the end to stay in their home.
Joseph smelled it out, and Gathers got him down, setting up this play, 2nd and 8.
They've run a little smoke screen from this formation where he'll either step back and throw the ball out or fake it to the right.
And he hands off instead to Thomas Jones for only a couple of yards.
This is a crucial series for the Bengals defensively, because you're losing your wide receivers. You've got people hurt. You've given up plays. The pressure of the Jets is starting to look like it's getting to your offense a little bit. If you can come out of here and just let them attempt a field goal, that would be a major accomplishment for this D.
So a huge 3rd and 7 now for Marvin Lewis and his Bengal defense. 2 tight ends in the formation. Hand off to the tailback, Jones. Thomas Jones stopped short of the first down. And Jonathan Fanene was the first to hit him. So Rex Ryan sees his team take the second half kickoff, march down the field, but will have to settle for a field goal attempt by Feely.
Coach, did you think that was conservative on his part?
Well, I'd say they're going for points here. I would say it's probably me. You're asking the wrong coach. I was conservative.
Right. Well, listen,
so I would say, I like the call there.
42-yard attempt by Jay Feely. And Feely splits the uprights with it. There is a flag on the play.
I think what they were looking at there, Joe.
75. Dickinson, 10-yard penalty, 4th down.
I think what they were looking at there, you go into your young quarterback, you got points on the board. A sack at that point on the field would take you out of field goal range. And so I think, Rex is probably saying, hey, look, I'm going to take the points here. Or try and pop something with the run.
Now it looks like Jay Feely may have to punt. Oh, one thing, you don't have to change your kicker.
Do not bring up punting again.
Okay.
So huge penalty.
Oh.
And they elect to go for it despite the 5 yards setback. Feely is on again to attempt not a punt, but a field goal.
He's kicking with the wind if there is any appreciable wind here.
And this one will be stopped too with another flag down.
False start. Number 78 offense. 5-yard penalty. 4th down.
I think he said 78, Wayne Hunter, with a false start.
I'm telling you, Jay does not have enough leg to go back 5 more yards. Watch the false start just on the left side. Number 78, Wayne Hunter. And he plays a lot. He's that other end for them.
And Feely not happy, and this time he is in punt formation. Feely trying to down it deep in Bengal territory and does get it out of bounds. He's done a good job of that this game. They'll mark it out of bounds at the 12-yard line. Another good job by Feely. Cincinnati institution, Skyline Chili. You have it 5 ways if you like it, with the cheese on top. And that would taste pretty good about now as the temperature has fallen with the sun going down. And the Bengals take over with a first down at their own 12-yard line. Cedric Benson bursting free for the moment, but a nice run on first down.
Whoa.
That looks hot enough to heat up some of that Skyline chili.
It has gotten a little more nippy as the evening has gone on, hasn't it? Yes,
indeed.
I felt my nose in the beginning of the game, and now I'm curious if there's still one there.
Down to 20 degrees with 8 miles an hour on the wind. Blowing in the face of the Bengals as they face a 2nd down and 3. Again, it's Cedric Benson, tries to reverse his field and does. Picks up a block on the outside and has a 1st down. David Harris playing injured and not maybe 100%. The top tackler for the Jets chases down Benson.
I mean, just hard running by Cedric Benson. Watch from the left part of your screen. Here comes Calvin Pace. He comes in, misses the tackle, and then David Harris, fortunately, is there. When you look at the Jets defensively, there isn't anybody on that defense that just flat can't run. Their linemen, their linebackers, their secondary people, all have got good speed.
Benson already up to 86 yards. Bengals started this drive on their 12. Out to the 25 now. Carson Palmer's pass. Not even close. Intended, I suppose, for Coles, but way behind him if he was indeed the intended receiver.
Inside receiver, Lavernius Coles. Working on Leonard. Coming across. Starts in. Keeps going. And now, that's one of those discussions you have to have. I mean, you have to assume that Carson Palmer felt he was just gonna stop. And Lavernius is looking back at him saying, the route's designed for me to go forward.
Net result, 2nd and 10. Take a quick pass, instead hand it off. Cedric Benson, and here's Benson. Racing down the sideline, and Benson is into Jets territory before he's pushed out of bounds by Jim Leonard. He goes for 27 yards. Big play for Cedric Benson and the Bengals.
The Bengals would love to rush it and play defense. We talked to Coach Lewis, and basically that's what they've redesigned for this year. A running football team. They know they can throw it. In the past, they've been able to throw it, but they really felt like running the football would help them improve their defense, which it has.
They're letting Chad and Darrelle Revis go at it a little bit. I mean, you could have called a foul on either side, but they're letting them mix it up a little bit.
Ocho Cinco with the takedown, helping Benson get the big gainer. And Palmer airs it out. Flag is down. Ocho Cinco made a dive at it, but couldn't come up with it. But the flag came down as Revis and Ocho Cinco continue their battle, and it will be against New York.
Now that's what Darrelle Revis has gotten Chad's attention. He picked one off. He's muscled him around.
Interference. Number 24 defense. First down, spot of the foul.
I personally think, Tom, that the play before this one got Chad going. He does a nice job. Now this is a lot of running for a wide receiver to do. He reaches out in front. Chad doing a nice job of hand checking and almost makes the play. This is what he talks about. Acceleration, go after the ball, just gets through his hand.
It amounts to a 26-yard penalty. The ball at the 22 of the Jets. Benson changing direction in the hole. Another nice gain for Cedric Benson, who's over 100 yards rushing now for the Bengals.
A big momentum swing on this drive. Very impressive. I think the Bengals
defensively, right?
You know, and it was a disaster series for the Jets. They're sitting there looking at points, 2 penalties, takes them out of it. Now you see this drive. I mean, this is a game changer here.
I got to think at some point, with the way Carson Palmer has been handing off, that he's going to run some kind of a play action off that action that we've seen the handoff.
Palmer changing the play.
Run to the weak side against that 46 defense again. That's the 3rd time we've seen him do that. Stop.
Benson stopped after a short gain that time, but he has had a productive game here in Cincinnati.
There he is. Bounces up off of Brian Thomas, winds up with some extra yards. Calvin Pace takes a shot at him, doesn't get it, turns it up the field. And once again, what a great change of direction. And this is what everybody saw to him coming out of Texas. Great change of direction, quick feet, and acceleration.
3rd down and 5, Cincinnati. Shotgun Palmer. Quick toss over the middle, incomplete, intended for Caldwell. Lito Shepard defending on the play for New York.
Andre Caldwell is not healthy. I mean, he's probably at about 85%. He sits in the pocket. He just can't get any separation now. Lito Shepard's got his speed back, right in his back pocket. Of course, Carson Palmer has thrown the ball better now. Get it down a little bit.
4th down, Shane Graham to attempt a 35-yard field goal. Graham just slid to the left. No good.
I was talking to the radio announcer for the Cincinnati Bengals, and even if you look at Shane Graham's makes, he's made the ones that haven't been important. That was an important one, and he's missed them.
Let's look at the missed field goal again.
It reminds me, Joe, it's so much pressure on a kicker. Mark Mosley, for us, we used to tell him it's the 10-second rule. If you miss a field goal, don't look to the sideline because the coaches and players are going to call you a bunch of names.
That's right.
After 10 seconds, it's okay. But those are huge in momentum.
Marvin Lewis looked as the kick went wide left. Now Sanchez on 1st down. Pumps once, and his pass. Kotchery, did he have it in bounds or not? Still waiting for the call. And they say yes.
They're going to call it a catch. Jericho Kotchery does it. Yep, there it is again. Boy, the Jet receivers have done a wonderful job getting their feet down. I mean, this is, watch this. Left foot in, right foot toe taps. He's got possession and control. Remember, when he goes out of bounds, he must maintain control of the ball, which he did.
Jericho Kotchery, 18 yards. It looked good. It doesn't matter. The Bengals can't challenge. No challenges left for Cincinnati. The last time the Jets had the ball, first series of the 2nd half, they didn't attempt a single pass. That one was good, and here's Sean Green off to the races again. Sean Green all the way to the Bengal 40-yard line, running left as he's done the entire game. That one for 16 yards.
Yeah, but if you're coming in from what he's been able to do, I mean, you're coming up flying at him. You've got to hold your ground. You can't take shots at Sean Green. He's too powerful. He's a little bowling ball. The deep way. The other thing is the Jets have changed the direction that they've been running. The game last week, they ran right. Now all of a sudden, a lot of things to the left. Now you're running behind the Shaw Ferguson, behind Alan Faneca.
1st down Jets after the missed Cincinnati field goal. New York driving downfield. A handoff to Green again, going left.
They're definitely packing the box. There's 8 up there. They've made up their mind. They're going to get them up there. Right now, the Bengals are saying, we got to stop the run.
And the Jets don't care. Watch the center, Nick Mangold, number 74, right in the middle. Look at him. Look at the job he does. Right there, number 74 does a terrific job. Just rides Pecco all the way out of the play.
I would be alert right in here someplace for a play-action pass, as well as they're running it right now in this series.
Sanchez directing some traffic, some mix-up in the formation, and will cost them a timeout. So the Jets, unable to get set on offense, have to spend their first timeout of the half.
Mark Sanchez did a real nice job on that last series. Even though there was a mistake, he's going over, encouraging everybody, clapping his hands, staying positive, really showing a lot of poise in this ballgame. Just stay focused, guys, and listen to me.
Jets took the timeout. It's still 2nd and 5. Blitz from the Bengals. Sanchez hits his receiver Kotchery for a 1st down. Tackled by Leon Hall, but not until he had enough yardage for the first as the drive continues for the Jets.
A good call by Coach Schottenheimer. They were packing the box, like we're saying. They want to stop the run. They have to stop the run. That's 1-on-1 on the outside. You get the little slant.
You talked about a little good place for play action.
Well, they've rushed it 24 times and passed 12.
Which is who they are.
Yep. Sanchez is 8 of 12. He's hit his last 4 in a row. Here's a handoff to Green. Ndukwe with the tackle for the Bengals. As we see that aerial coverage of Paul Brown Stadium, and tonight's aerial coverage brought to you by Bud Light. Paul Brown Stadium, the temperature down below 20 degrees now. AFC wild card game with our producer Tommy Roy, co-producer Rob Hyland, Artie Kempner, our director, Tom Hammond, Joe Gibbs, Joe Theismann, and Tiki Barber. On 2nd and 4, Green on the toss, running left, and hit by Ndukwe and driven out of bounds. Chinedum Ndukwe.
You know when you play the Jets, the safeties are going to have to make plays. And Ndukwe doing a real nice job of stringing it out. Once it gets to that second level, you have to be able to make the plays.
Ndukwe played at Notre Dame. His parents immigrated from Nigeria for opportunities, educational and financial, in the United States. And he returns to his ancestral homeland of Nigeria every offseason if he can, and wants eventually to start a football camp there. It's 3rd down and 6. And the play blown dead.
Before the snap, timeout, New York Jets.
Second one on this drive by New York. New York Jets with the ball just inside the Cincinnati 25-yard line, facing a 3rd down and 6. Sanchez fires a bullet, and it's caught inside the 10-yard line. Braylon Edwards hangs on to that one. Boy, and it's 1st down, New York.
He does a great job of locking and loading on this one. This is just a gun. He sets, does a real nice. Braylon Edwards does a nice job pushing up and continues the route against Jonathan Joseph.
I think he even double clutched a little bit. The quarterback then fired it. Man, that was a shot.
He let the inside receiver clear and then just rocketed that one out.
16 yards on the play to Edwards. Sanchez continues his good game, his first playoff experience. 1st down and goal. Thomas Jones for the touchdown.
Probably the play they love the most. That's Faneca coming around. Did a great job leading up through the hole. He does a great job of finding people on the right side. They probably ran that play with that heavy package 5 or 6 times last week also.
Yep, you'll see him come around. Alan Faneca makes the move. They double team on the corner with Richardson. Tony Richardson's only blocked for 8 guys that have rushed for 1,000 yards. Once again, creating the hole for Thomas Jones.
Jones, who had 14 touchdown carries in the regular season, as Feely adds the extra point. Missed field goal by the Bengals. 75-yard scoring drive by the Jets. A 9-yard run by Thomas Jones for the touchdown. And Sanchez delirious. (21-7) Jets. With just over 2 minutes left in the 3rd quarter of this wild card game. The Bengals scored a touchdown on their 2nd possession today. And then their last 6 possessions, no points. Carson Palmer and Chad Ochocinco looking on, ready to go onto the field. And the way the Jets can play ball control, they might not have too many more chances. Here's the kickoff by Feely, taken by Bernard Scott at the goal line. Scott wrapped up at the 25-yard line as we go back to the New York touchdown by Thomas Jones.
We talked about Faneca and running to the right side, and he's pulling here, Faneca. And watch him just has an ability to hit, bounce off. Look at this hole open up. Is that a pretty shot or what?
Wow.
Any running back would love to see that.
Yeah, Thomas Jones' eyes just had to get real big when he saw that goal line ahead of him with nobody there. That's a happy group of Jets right there. And, of course, who's jumping the highest? The kid.
I can tell you from experience, those offensive linemen, they want to run it, don't they, Joe?
Oh, absolutely.
They get mad when you throw it.
They yell at you. They just yell at you in the huddle.
They yell at me on the sideline.
Pressure on the Cincinnati offense now. Carson Palmer, short drop on 1st down. Lofts it to Benson. Benson picks up about 5 yards on 1st down.
Boy, if you're Rex Ryan, this is the kind of a game now that it's starting to get to where you have to feel real good, because now you can throw all those different packages and looks at Carson Palmer. We know that Chad Ochocinco has basically been shut out by Darrelle Revis, so once again, Caldwell and Coles are going to have to step up.
Check it, save Florida. Check it, save Florida.
Palmer bouncing it to the outside with Benson. There's a flag down in the backfield of the Bengals.
You know, we talked about Revis. One of the things that impressed.
Number 62 offense. 10-yard penalty. Repeat second down.
Nate Livings with a hold.
As we talked to him yesterday in our meeting, Revis, what impressed me is he takes film home of every receiver he's going to see for the coming year. He did that last year. He said he's going to do it this year. Here's somebody that makes great preparation.
And that's the hold by Nate Livings. You just, I mean, when the Jets put so many people around the line of scrimmage, they destroy the angles that the linemen try and get to, especially when you're trying to get outside on this defense. You're not going to get outside on this defense. You may cut one back, but you're not going to get to the initial direction you're going.
Revis shutting out Ochocinco again today, though he did have an interference penalty. From the shotgun, Palmer's pass caught. Coles is knocked out of bounds after the reception. Knocked out by Lowry.
Once again, Lavernius Coles pushes it up the field, plants. Real nice job of selling the out and then working towards the sidelines.
Good for 14 yards.
If you're Carson Palmer, you're going to have to go in that direction. That's a matchup that has worked out. You got a touchdown out of it in the first quarter. You've got some good completions through the course of the game.
Palmer stepping up and delivers. Good for the first down. Caldwell keeps the Cincinnati drive going. That's 12 yards.
And you see that Andre Caldwell cannot run. He turns. Watch what happens when he turns up the field. Right part of your screen, you're going to see him come into the picture. Nice job by Carson avoiding the pressure. Steps up. Once he makes the catch, he's going to go to the ground. He just doesn't have anything left.
It always amazes me as coaches. You can't coach that feeling of a quarterback right there escaping. The good ones, like yourself, had that and had it.
Final seconds of the third quarter. Cedric Benson cuts up the middle for a couple of tough yards to bring the third quarter to a close. That's the end of the third quarter. The score, the Jets 21 and the Bengals 7. NBC's Wild Card Saturday continues after these messages from your local NBC station. Start the fourth quarter with the Jets leading the Bengals 21-7 in this AFC Wild Card playoff game. Cincinnati scoring on its second possession and drive the last 6 since then. This is their 7th. Desperately needing some points.
Check it.
And like Carson Palmer's again changing the play. It's a hand to Benson running left. 3 or 4 yards on the carry. Brian Thomas made the stop, and the Jets have won 58 in a row while leading by at least 8 in the fourth quarter. That's the best in the NFL. So it's an uphill battle for Cincinnati, and that puts even more emphasis on this drive, perhaps, as the Jets are so good at protecting a lead, and you know how they can play ball control with their running game. They're down at 6. Under pressure, Palmer hit as he throws and nearly picked off by Thomas.
They just keep coming, the Jets do. That was an overload on the left side there. They're coming after you, and the one thing that you're going to have to do is make a play to one-on-one receivers, and you got to block the rush. I think right now throwing Hodge is probably not going to get it. You're going to have to block it up at some point.
Heard a few boos from the fans here at Paul Brown Stadium as Patry is ready to accept the Huber punt, which bounds into the end zone for the touchback. So it seemed like that was a crucial possession by Cincinnati. They needed to get something going, and they come up short again. Are they running out of time the way that the Jets can run the football?
Well, I would certainly think you're going up against the #1 defense, and you've got the #1 offense right now. Believe me, Rex Ryan is going to say, run that thing, eat up the clock. And so I think time is of the essence for the Bengals. They're going to have to make something happen. Their chance, I think, is to try and hit. Rex is going to keep coming.
Yep.
So you got a chance with outside receivers, but it's going to be have to hit a big play on the outside in the passing game.
Down carry by Jones.
This is exactly the way that the Jets have been built. Big offensive line, control the game in these kind of temperatures. The Bengals offensively are short personnel. Andre Caldwell's got a bad leg. Lavernius Coles went out with the thumb before. Darrelle Revis has basically taken Chad Ochocinco. They might as well have bought 2 seats in this stadium. I mean, he's completely out of the game. But they're going to have to make a stop here if they have any chance.
Play clock to 2. Handoff to Jones. And continuing to grind it out. Before today's game, a moment of silence was observed in memory of Casey Johnson, the daughter of Jets owner Woody Johnson, who passed away. Though the cause of death has not been determined, Casey suffered from type 1 diabetes, and Mr. Johnson, chairman of Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation International, and has established a memorial fund with the JDRF in Casey's honor. And the Jets coaches today wearing wristbands to support juvenile diabetes research. Here's the Wildcat formation. Sanchez goes to the sideline. Smith takes the direct snap. Charges up the middle, stopped short of the first down by Keith Rivers.
This is where the defense runs off the field and goes to the offense. All right, we've done our part. Go get something done.
Big play, clock running. They stop them. I think they've done a very good job, the Bengals have, against the Wildcat today. They've done a good job of that. They made great preparation there. I think Mike Zimmer's done a good job with his game plan preparation. So they've been hurt with everything else in the running game.
Feely to punt to Cosby. That one went more or less straight up and down. Cosby, fair catch at about the 45-yard line of Cincinnati. Bengals need to get something going. (21-7). Tom Hammond, Joe Gibbs, Joe Theismann, Tiki Barber. AFC wildcard game, Cincinnati's Paul Brown Stadium. Jets leading 21-7, fourth quarter, just under 12 minutes. Carson Palmer stepping up, has a completion to Ochocinco, his first in the last 2 games against the New York Jets. Darrelle Revis.
If Darrelle Revis plays Chad off, he's going to make catches. If he gets up and uses his hands and physically challenges him at the line of scrimmage, he probably won't have any success. This is not a time for him to back off him.
Just short of the first down. Second down here, blitz shown by the Jets.
You could say that every play, Tom.
Yeah, now they back out of this one. Showed the linebackers coming for a moment, and now they are ready to come.
Then they come.
And breaking free is Cedric Benson to the end zone for the touchdown. .47 yards.
Watch this. You're going to bring a lot of people to the line. What a wonderful job this offensive line did.
The one thing about blitzing, if you hit it, there's no pursuit. You're gone.
You're going to get wide receivers blocking. Caldwell does a real nice job. Almost every big run is a result of a wide receiver making a block. We saw it with Keller as a tight end on the one before.
Graham's extra point is good. Cedric Benson, 47 yards for the touchdown. And Cincinnati suddenly is right back in it with 11:04 to go.
I think the crowd's back in it, and that's for sure.
They did exactly what they needed to do.
And the celebration by Bobby Williams.
Well, he almost...
Cedric Benson, a 47-yard touchdown jaunt. Yep, feels good. He's rushed for 169 yards in tonight's game. Graham with a kickoff to Brad Smith. Smith a yard deep in the end zone. Going to bring it out. And is going to have a blocker in front and a crease until he's just caught with the shoe tops and tripped up. Crowd back in it. First down, Jets at the 31. Hand off to Sean Green. Running right this time and stopped after a gain of 2.
Hey, one of the great things about football is the emotion, the crowd. I can remember our RFK Stadium, and here today, that run brought everybody back into it. The emotion, the high, the thrill. That's a great part of the NFL.
Been a long playoff drought for the Bengals, who haven't had a playoff win since 1991, the longest drought in the NFL currently. And the fans hungry for a victory here. They're still down by 7. Bengals crowding the line of scrimmage. Play action pass. Sanchez rolls and has Keller. Keller, the tight end who scored a touchdown earlier, dodges a tackle and now is racing down before he's caught at the 25-yard line by Leon Hall. A gain of 43 yards as the Bengals stacked to stop the run and got the pass instead from Sanchez.
Brian Schottenheimer has been able to almost pick his spots with great calls. This is a terrific bootleg. We talked about it earlier in the first quarter. Mark Sanchez has thrown more balls on play action than any other quarterback in the league this year. Once again, if you can run the football, make the defense commit, it opens up guys wide open on the play action.
Now the Jets threatening again with a first down at the 23 of Cincinnati. Green stopped for a loss of a yard by Chris Crocker.
Now the Bengals right now have everybody at the line of scrimmage. Nobody deep. Everybody's up front, forcing the run.
Second down and 12. Brad Smith in at a wide receiver spot. Hand off to Green. And Green again with success when he runs left. Takes it down to the 10-yard line. It's a gain of 14 yards before Dahani Jones and Leon Hall make the stop of Sean Green, the rookie from Iowa.
This is the left side. They featured the right the last time. They get the defense going outside. Sean Green. It's like Thomas Jones is their guy that runs right. Sean Green is their guy that runs left. They have designated backs to go to either side of the line.
I think with this offensive line, you can run right or left, is what we're saying.
He has 130 yards today. Green. Shaking tacklers to the 5. And Dukwe got him down at that point, but Sean Green, who rushed for nearly 1,900 yards and 20 touchdowns as a Hawkeye senior.
I want to tell you something else about Mark Sanchez and the maturity that I see. He is letting the play clock run down to almost 1 to 2 seconds every time they call a play. He gets up under the center. As he comes out of the huddle, he knows whether he wants to walk, he knows whether he needs to rush. They're down to 10 at the line. He'll snap this with about 2-3 seconds to go.
And the catch made by Cotchery. So Sanchez passing down here close to the goal line and completing the pass to Cotchery.
I think that was just a side adjustment. Gonna run to the right. See him overloaded. Quarterback does a good job. Comes off with a quick side adjustment.
Since 1950, he would be only the 4th quarterback as a rookie to start and win a playoff game, and he's in position to do it, threatening to add to a 21-14 lead. 3rd down. And to Jones. And Thomas Jones right at the 1st down marker. They'll take a look at it, and here's a decision to be made. It's going to be
not at all.
4th down and a yard.
Kick the field goal. Kick the field goal. Make it a 2-possession game.
Right, with the clock ticking down towards 6 minutes.
I don't care how many yards they have to go. If you give them 1 possession to make it, you could have a blown coverage. Somebody could fall down, and you wind up with a tie game. This way, it's a 2-possession game with 6 minutes to go.
Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I would agree with that also. Add the points, take the points here. What's to say you're going to make a yard?
Jay Feely boots it from 20 yards. 20-yard field goal by Feely, who's been one of the heroes, along with Sanchez for the Jets, who advanced their lead to 10. Back in Cincinnati, 24-14 the Jets. Sean Green and Dustin Keller, 2 of the stars for New York today. They each have a touchdown. Ocho Cinco has only 1 reception, facing Darrelle Revis. Feely to kick off after the field goal. And Brian Leonard, who fields the short kick, bumped out of bounds. And Dustin Keller's had a big game today. 3 catches for 99 yards.
Yeah, I think Mark Sanchez is going to have to buy Dustin a there he is blocking on the outside. And then Mark Sanchez hits him here on a little waggle pass off the run fake. Great job there staying in bounds. Here he is on a little bootleg. Hits the middle of the field. What a great day. In a playoff game. Huge deal. Jets, I know everybody back home cheering. The guys had 3 receptions for 99 yards.
Keller in his 2nd year from Purdue, 1st-round draft choice last year. Now the Bengals saw the Jets answer with a field goal after they scored a touchdown, trying to come back again. And Coles, they say no good.
I actually think that ball was intended for Chad. I mean, this is one of those things you don't see very often. Both Lavernius Coles and Chad Ochocinco are in the same exact area. If it was intended for Chad, it would be on the backside. And this is one of those cases where you have possession, but you must maintain possession all the way through to the ground, and it comes out.
And an injured Jet. That's Lowry, Dwight Lowry, defensive back. With the clock showing 5:33 in this AFC wildcard game. Don't forget the Cowboys and Eagles later tonight on NBC. The winner of this game will have to await tomorrow's AFC game between Baltimore and New England to see who they will face next week. Palmer, strike, thrown to Caldwell. He has a 1st down for Cincinnati.
You have to go hurry up now. Outside receiver. Everybody clears. They run all the blitzes up inside, and you wind up with the open field in the middle.
And they are in the hurry up. 1st down with the ball at the 49-yard line of Cincinnati. From the shotgun, Palmer. Stepping up in the pocket. Dropped by his tight end, Coates. At 5 minutes even left in the game.
It's on the back. I mean, the throw. Carson has not really put the ball where he wanted to on a number of occasions tonight, and that was a case where he was rushed a little bit and had to throw it to the backside.
Stops the clock. Second down and 10. Blitz. And a quick toss to Coles is complete to the 45-yard line of New York.
Coach, this 4-down territory.
They're staying with their personality. I think it is. They're staying with their personality. The Jets are. They're continuing to come.
Coles, who had an injured thumb earlier in the game, is slow getting up. Helped up, as a matter of fact, and they'll tend to him out on the field as we take a break. Lavernius Coles hit by Drew Coleman on that last one, right to the face mask, helmet to the face mask. Coles helped off the field. Meanwhile, 3rd down and 4. Palmer's pass is caught by Cosby for a 1st down.
Cosby, he reminds me of one of those little slot guys. You know, Coach? Yeah. Lavernius is getting looked at.
Just a little outbreak here. Again, it's one-on-one. What Coach Ryan explained to us was his blitzes, he lets everybody rotate around and have a chance. Remember what he said, really, Joe? He said, I want to have all my defensive players know they're going to have a chance to make a big play. And he actually sets it up that way.
From the 40, 1st down Cincinnati. They keep the drive going with that last catch. Palmer chased from the pocket. Throws on the run, incomplete. Intended for Caldwell.
Coach, that's what you were talking about. That time it was Kerry Rhodes' turn, number 25. Spent a couple of weeks in the doghouse. You see him come right up the middle. They can't get inside to make the block. That was Dennis Rowland, number 74, the right tackle, trying to get inside and couldn't make it and forced Carson out.
He says it develops more of a team concept. If everybody's going to get a chance, there's not one star, one guy being set up on blitzes. Everybody's going to have their chance
to hit somebody.
Yeah, they hit somebody.
Hit the quarterback.
Let me say this. They're going to try and hit somebody.
2nd down and 10 for Cincinnati. Again, the Jets showing the blitz and coming with it. Palmer throwing deep, but a miscommunication again with Ocho Cinco, who broke to the inside as the pass went outside. And Rivas again defending Ocho Cinco.
Chad's the inside receiver. He releases up the field inside. The safety bites. He doesn't really make Rivas change direction, and Carson tries to lead him. Chad never got on top of Darrell Rivas. Darrell can run step for step with Chad.
It's 3rd down and 10. Palmer's pass incomplete. Cosby, the intended receiver, and a flag. Coleman was defending him.
Before the pass is thrown, illegal contact, number 30 defense. 5-yard penalty, automatic 1st down.
So Coleman called for the illegal contact, and that'll keep the Bengals in business.
Number 12 in the slot. Remember, after 5 yards, you can't make contact. I mean, they put a lot of pressure on defensive backs and linebackers after the 5 yards. You have to stay away from the wide receivers and or the tight ends.
Coleman over on the sideline after being called for that penalty. So the penalty gives Cincinnati a 1st down. That pass over the head of Cosby, way over the head of Cosby.
That's one of the few times that Rex Ryan decided to go zone, and it surprised Carson Palmer. He was looking for one-on-one there.
It's been a guessing game when you play the Rex Ryan defense, and Marvin Lewis and company have not always guessed right today. Palmer has hit 15 of 29 for 107, one picked off by Rivas and one touchdown to Coles. Second down pass. Palmer pumped once and then found the open man. It's Cosby who has a first down for Cincinnati. And a flag. Hit out of bounds. That's David Harris.
After the runner is out of bounds, personal foul, late hit, number 52 defense. Half the distance to the goal, automatic first down.
14-yard gain and then the penalty.
Crosby's built like the perfect slot receiver. Little quick inside, little Wes Welkerisms. Comes across real quick, 5'9", about 195 pounds. Now there's the hit, and there's the shot out of bounds to get you the extra 15. Or in this case, half the distance.
Spot the ball at the 10-yard line. First down, Cincinnati. They trail 24-14. Approaching 4 minutes left in this AFC wildcard game. Ochocinco. Incomplete. He was out of bounds with Rivas using that boundary to aid his coverage.
Well, you dial this up. Chad really doesn't do anything to freeze Terrell at the line. He just tries to run by him. Probably would have been a reception. Got both feet down. Incredible job going up after the ball. Just can't quite hang on to it.
Second down. Palmer running to his right, has to throw it away. Pressure on him. Forced him to throw it to the ground. Calvin Pace, the man applying the pressure on Carson Palmer, which brings up a third down.
I'm looking for Crosby on this one. He's done a real nice job. Chad's out of it. I took my shot at Chad. Rivas is outside. I'm going to work the slot up on the top. Right up here. I'm going to work up right up top. That's the shot I want to take.
Palmer pumps once. Delivers to the end zone. Too high. Intended for Caldwell and incomplete.
That was a change up there with Rex Ryan. Twice right there. The last two plays were soft coverages. And I think that really bothered the Bengals in that case. I think they were looking for some kind of man-to-man.
Isn't that the flexibility you have, though, when you constantly bring pressure, and all of a sudden you don't? It becomes very disconcerting.
Down by 10. They'll bring on Graham for a 28-yard field goal attempt. He missed one earlier. And this one he missed as well. Two missed field goals by Graham, and the lead remains 10 with 3:49 left.
Good hold, good snap, bad kick. Just flat pushed it right.
Missed from 35 and 28.
Tell you one thing.
And Mark Sanchez is starting to feel it, isn't he?
If you don't have a kicker that can make clutch kicks for you, it is so deflating to everybody when you give away points. And then when you're a coach, what does it do to you?
Well, as a coach and the whole team, you work hard, make good calls, team works hard, you go all the way down the field, then to miss the field goal. It's a momentum killer.
Goes beyond 10 seconds, doesn't it, at times? You miss enough of it.
Sanchez to Jones with a handoff. And how sweet will this be for Mark Sanchez as we anticipate game 2 on Wild Card Saturday. The Eagles and the Cowboys. That'll be coming up following the Pepsi Throwback Bridge Show with Bob Costas live from Cowboys Stadium. That's all right after the game. Carson Palmer's had a rough day for the Bengals. A lot of his throws have been off target, but Shane Graham's really feeling it. 2 missed field goals.
Bob Bratkowski, the offensive coordinator of the Cincinnati Bengals, has had to play a chess game with healthy receivers, with Chad Ochocinco out. You got to figure out where do you want to go with the football. He'd love to have another shot at it at least.
Mark Sanchez, the rookie quarterback of the Jets, who wanted to be like Carson Palmer growing up. Same high school, same college. His dad, Mark Sr., his mother, Olga, on hand for the game today. His dad, a fire captain in Orange County, who drilled his son all during his formative years. Thomas Jones a carry again. Drilled him on athletics, drilled him on academics, and before the game at Paul Brown Stadium, Mark Sr. and Jr. exchanging pleasantries and how sweet it would be in your first playoff game to record a victory, and on the road at that. Timeout taken by Cincinnati. No rookie has completed 70% of his passes in a postseason game, and 80% for Sanchez. And we'll defer, Coach, to the quarterback here, because he said all along how impressed he was with Mark Sanchez.
I thought, yeah, not only that, I'm impressed with a lot of the things that he did. His composure when he has to throw the football, the ability to carry out fakes on play action to make the others look good, and then when he's given the opportunity to make a throw, he has delivered.
And the other thing impresses me, this is a crowd. He's at a tough place to play. In a playoff game, it's somebody else's home court. He's handled everything very well today.
Jones stopped by Fanene. Sanchez 12 of 15, 182 yards, and the touchdown. He's averaged 12.1 yards per attempt today.
Well, they can run the football. Yep. They can play defense, the Jets. They got a quarterback. It's a baby that's coming on. I would say, and a first-year coach has done a fantastic job. If you look at the Jets, you'd have to say good things in the future.
A little bit like Rex Ryan. I can't wait to see the headlines in the New York papers this week after this one, because he said, hey, we ought to be favored in every game going forward. Well, there's only 2 more before you get to the Super Bowl, but you can see the job that he has done with his rating, 139.4. Wow. Carson Palmer has struggled. He's been without a lot of weapons, though.
Thiele punts it. Cosby lets it bounce. It'll be down by the Jets at about the 46-yard line. Now just 3 minutes and 27 seconds left. Cincinnati has used its final timeout.
This is how critical that missed field goal was. You've got 55 yards to get in the end zone. You know you're in 4-down territory, and you're still 2 scores away.
So much of the field goal, to me, over the years when I coached, is mental. They have so much time to work and practice and everything. It's a matter of handling everything mentally. And that's the reason why you see a lot of young guys come up as field goal kickers or punters, might not get cut, and it's the second or third time before they actually make it.
Bengals need a quick strike. Palmer across the middle, complete. Ocho Cinco with the catch. His second of the game.
I don't understand why Darrelle Revis isn't up in Chad Ochocinco's grill, because when he's up there, he's not as big a factor. You give him room to get off the ball and use his legs, it's going to be harder to cover him.
19-yard gain, ball just inside the 35 of the Jets. Palmer this time under center, and a handoff. And a good run by Leonard. Brian Leonard has it to the 16-yard line. There is a penalty marker, and a hold against Cincinnati will bring it back. That wipes out an 18-yard gain. That's the way this sellout crowd at Paul Brown Stadium feels, as the Bengals trying to erase that 19-year drought. Bobby Williams called for the hold right there.
Hangs on to Sean Ellis just a little too long.
Complete to Leonard. Leonard to the 40-yard line, where he gets out of bounds. Lito Shepherd hanging on. And another injured Bengal, or slow to get up at least, is Mathis, Evan Mathis. Now 2:41 showing on the clock, and the Bengals with a second down. Ball at the 39-yard line of the Jets.
Revis up top on Chad.
Flag down. Palmer. Incomplete. Caldwell was the intended receiver. Flag came early.
This is going to be an illegal shift now against the Bengals.
Illegal shift, offense. The players never got set after coming out of the huddle. Penalties declined, third down.
You know, it's pretty amazing to see the inept passing game of the Bengals when you consider a couple of years ago they were throwing the ball successfully all over the lot.
And that's what we talked about. We talked about Mike Zimmer and Coach Lewis talked to us. They said, look, that was the change they wanted to make in the team. And obviously, a heck of a year for them. Fourth in defense, get all the way to the playoffs. It's just today, I think the passing game has just been out of sync.
And when you get behind, you get people that keep coming after you. Brian Thomas now gets his shot. So Rex dials up his number as he comes on the blitz. Just swims right inside. I mean, Bobby Williams is supposed to block him. Dennis Rowland, the right tackle, is going to pick him up. Neither one of them get him. You see the offensive linemen looking at one another. May as well throw in Kyle Cook, the center, as well.
Jets' second sack of the day. And Rex Ryan said, why shouldn't we be favored in every playoff game?
Why not?
And he said, you know, got to throw it out there. And they backed it up today. Palmer sacked again. This time by Sean Ellis. And with 1:56 left, we'll stop for the 2-minute warning. And the Jets up by 10. (24-14) Jets. It's been a tough afternoon for Chad Ochocinco, who told us he was toning down his act this week. He said this week is no time to kid around and do all his antics for which he is famous, and feeling the emotion of the moment as the New York Jets go into their victory formation. The Cincinnati Bengals are out of timeouts. After Cincinnati took a 7-0 lead, it's been Jets, 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 Jets. And the stars were aligned for Rex Ryan, the rookie coach, and his rookie quarterback. Mark Sanchez, the rookie quarterback, 12 of 15, 182 yards. And the man who threw 20 interceptions in the regular season took care of the football as he said he must. Sean Green, a big rushing day, 135 yards. Keller had a key block on a Green touchdown run and had 3 receptions, 99 yards, and a touchdown himself.
3 of the last 4 games, 4 of the last 5 games now, Mark Sanchez has not thrown an interception.
And coming up after the game, it's the Pepsi Throwback Bridge Show with Keith D'Antoni and Rodney. Charles Barkley is going to visit the studio. Of course, he'll be hosting Saturday Night Live tonight, and the guys will be looking ahead to the Philly-Dallas game. All that coming up after this game, in which the Jets are going to advance in the playoffs. Now, tomorrow, depending on what happens, if New England beats Baltimore, the Jets will go to Indianapolis. If Baltimore wins, then the Jets will go to San Diego. And there it is, the rookie coach, Rex Ryan, who waited so long to get a head coaching job, has done a marvelous job with the New York Jets and his rookie quarterback, Mark Sanchez. Rookie coach, rookie quarterback come on the road to win in the wild card game. And the 2 good friends who coached together with the Baltimore Ravens, Ryan and Marvin Lewis, sharing an embrace. In the second half, New York had 19 minutes of possession to 11 for Cincinnati. As we said, Cincinnati went on top 7-0, looked good in doing it. But after that, the Jets assumed control. Sanchez is going to keep that football as a souvenir as he talks to Marvin Lewis. He sprinted, in fact, to catch Coach Lewis before he left the field. Ochocinco essentially shut down again by Darrelle Revis. Carson Palmer did not have a good day throwing the football. And the Jets will advance in the playoffs.
The Jets have given other teams to think about. Last week against the Cincinnati Bengals, they ran predominantly to the right. Tonight with Sean Green, they decided to run left. So it makes you wonder from a defensive standpoint, what will Brian Schottenheimer do as they prepare for the next opponents? I just think this football team thinks it can do anything.